Hey, how's everyone going? So let's just just catch up with the comments. So we've got Inferno224. Hello, how you doing? You okay? I don't think I've spoken to you for a little while. But yeah, looks like you actually commented earlier on. I've been actually pretty busy today doing this and that, as you do. So, yeah, the purpose of today's little live video is to set up the latest Amiga Forever 11, which released probably, a couple of days ago. The developer, the brains behind Amiga Forever, he actually emailed me the other day, and he actually sent me over a copy to do a video on of Amiga Forever 11. He also sent me over a copy of C64 Forever as well. So I use both of these, kind of use them to when I do emulate Amiga stuff. Normally I'm using my real 600 with PyStorm, as some of you might be aware. So, first of all, before we get started, can everybody hear me okay? Last Sunday, I think somebody said my voice wasn't coming through too well. So, obviously, yeah, let us know if everything's sounding okay. And we'll give it a couple minutes and begin. So, yes, just like it says in the title, we're going to do a setup. And I'm going to give you an honest opinion of Amiga Forever. So of course, Amiga Forever is not going to actually tell you yet. We're going to go through it first. Okay, so everything sounds good apparently, so we are ready to go. But let's go for this. So first of all, Amiga Forever then. So you can get Amiga Forever over on the amigaforever.com website. There's a few different editions of it. So if we just go here, we got the Value Edition. That's your bare bones, but it's going to get you Amiga Forever and pretty much all the essentials you need to get you up and running. We got the Plus Edition, which is the edition I was sent for this stream today. And we got the Premium Edition, which is a physical copy of Amiga Forever. So there is a price range just here between different editions. Now, some of you might wonder why you need to pay for Amiga Forever, and that's understandable. Of course, a lot of the emulators are free. WinUAE is free, and in fact, talking about WinUAE, actually had an update a few days ago to I think it's version 6.0.0 possibly, but yeah. So just like Amiga Forever, WinUAE, Amiga emulator, WinUAE's not had an update for a long time. So, with Amiga Forever then, all those really annoying kickstart ROMs and everything else, all those little bits and pieces, which you normally need for emulation regardless of device, being it Raspberry Pi, Windows, at some point you're going to need kickstart ROMs. Amiga Forever actually comes with the lot, everything. So in my older videos, my older Amiga emulation setup guides, I would frequently recommend people go into Amiga Forever. Rather than scouring the internet, you don't know what you're downloading, Amiga Forever has it all in one package, quite literally. You can even burn the ROM files, the kickstart ROMs, onto chip and use on a real Amiga. Flash it onto a chip. Can't get my bearings. So there's a lot of reasons for Amiga Forever, and apart from that, it's just such an easy way of playing Amiga stuff. But we're going to go through that now. Okay, so that's where to get Amiga Forever 11 from, obviously. So what we've got just here on the desktop, we have got a couple of versions of this I was sent. We've got the main setup itself, and I've also got ISO image. Now, if you've got an ISO image of Amiga Forever, ISO is pretty much just a virtual disk. So here you go, by double left clicking on it, we need to open up this disk image. If I just go down to Windows Explorer, I can open it up from here. And what we can do with the ISO image is actually auto run the program itself. Rather than installing it onto a computer, we can run it like this. But by far, I definitely recommend actually installing it to a computer. The reason being is things going to be likely a lot quicker, and yeah, You know, if we was probably 20 years ago, I'd say just boot from disk. But of this day and age, with the amount of storage space and everything else we get, then yeah, you may as well just install it. And that's what I'm going to do. So I've got a setup just here, Amiga Forever 11 Plus .msi. Just double left click. Okay, so setup process, pretty simple. You know, I'm pretty sure most people here is going to understand how to set up some sort of program. So we're going to go to next. For this, I'm going to go for the complete package. I don't want to go for custom. I just want to show everyone what this has got as a complete package. Go to next and install. Okay. And we're just going to wait for this to validate and install. And while this is installed, I'm just going to leave my PayPal details just there. If anyone wants to donate to the channel, please send over through PayPal. I really appreciate it, and it helps the channel, obviously. Okie dokes. So we're just going to wait for this. Now, while this is installing, I think a lot of people today are very confused over Amiga emulation. And I'll be honest with you, up until I started this channel and started diving into Amiga emulation further, it is a baffling thing. You know, there's different models of Amiga to set up. There's a lot of files and it's very confusing, but like I say, Amiga Forever, it really is this simple. So we've installed it, setup wizard is complete, so we're gonna keep launch the Amiga Forever player checked, and of course on the desktop just there we've got Amiga Forever. What I'm actually gonna do is just close this down. I'm not gonna launch it through here. Now what a lot of people do, I find in a lot of my older tutorials, they get a little bit confused from time to time where things have been installed. Now, let me just tell everyone, the easiest way to find out where it's installed if you wasn't paying attention when installing whatever, it's normally a case of just right-clicking on the desktop icon, open file location, and at the top just there, we can see exactly where it's installed. So in my program files folder, ×86 folder, it's created a new folder, as we can see just there, Clinoto. I'll probably just butcher that. But there we go, it's installed inside, just here, and here's all the goodies. This is what's just installed. Now, if we go into Amiga Files folder, we're going to have WinUA here, and it's in one of these folders you're going to find all your Kickstart ROMs, and I can't think off the top of my head which folder it's in. Also got WinFellow folder here. WinFellow is a really good upcoming Amiga emulator. I've covered that some time back. If we go down to ROM folder, and here we go, I just found it. So this is all of the ROM files which Amiga Forever comes with. And as you can see, we got a hell of a lot just there. And this is all licensed stuff. The owner of Amiga Forever who puts this package together, this is what he officially owns. So yeah, it's legal. This is the, to my knowledge, this is legal stuff just here. It's nothing shady. But as you can see, we got lots of different ROM files. We got Amiga OS. Yeah, loads of different files just there. If we go into HDF, we got some Workbench files just there, and there is so much useful goodness just here which we can use outside of Amiga Forever. Let's take a look. Okay. But yeah, generally, if you go through those folders, that's where you're going to find all your Kickstart files. But we're not going to go into that for now. Okay, so let's open up Amiga Forever and show you all what this is capable of doing. So Amiga Forever, double left click, and here we go. So whenever you boot up Amiga Forever, this is what you're going to get the first time round in. We're just going to get tips of the day, that type of thing. So I'm going to uncheck show on startup, and I'm going to just close this down. And it's just there. So first thing what we can do with the user interface screen just here is we can actually kind of customize this to an extent. So let me just change this over to a different color. If I go to view, I'm going to put this down to mode columns. I'm going to try tiles. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit better. So this is the first thing then we're going to see. So we got lots of different operating systems here. Amiga operating systems, workbenches. If I was to double left click on Amiga 1000, this should now boot up directly Amiga 1000. Check this out. Complete with the sound of the disk drive. Very cool stuff. Okay, and here we go. We're in Amiga 1000 Workbench 1.1. Very cool stuff. Now, normally, if you're using WinUAE, it's generally a case of pressing the F12 button to exit things, or, you know, at least bring a menu up to do different things. With this program, if I hold down on my escape button, this is then going to release my cursor, as we can see. So we're going to close this down. Something else we can do really easily in Amiga Forever is actually save snapshots, and I'm going to show you this in a minute. But this means actually we can play a game, and if we close it down the way I just did, then we can save and load up our progress from where we just left off. So I'm going to just close out of that. We got lots of different systems just here. We got Amiga 4000. If I double left click on this one, and I believe there's actually one of these Amiga OS systems that we do need to do some additional with, and I can't think for the life of me which one it is. But you've got your classic operating systems just there, and you've got your more modern systems like this one right here. So lots of goodness here, and if you're an Amiga fan like me, you'll probably love this type of thing. Once we open up programs in Amiga Forever, we can actually go to a full screen with this. We can even give it scan lines or whatever if you wish. So what I'm going to do is just use my cursor, and if I select full screen, just left click on that, and there we go. But it's a small window at the moment, but we can actually increase this to give it a proper full screen view. Again, it's just a case of holding down on the escape button, and that's going to bring up this little, well, options bars. Can't get my bearings there. But anyway, let's just close out of here for now. And I'm pretty sure people's kind of a bit fed up of seeing Amiga operating systems. Most of you here is probably thinking, yeah, great, where's the games? Okay, let's take a look at the games. On the left-hand side, we got some games that Amiga Forever comes with. So you've got some commercial games from back in the day, such as Astro Marine Corps. We got Black Viper, which was, 1996, quite a fairly late release for the Amiga back then. So around 25 games there. We've also got some modern day homebrew games in, and we can actually add our own games to this. So if anyone's aware of Amiga emulation, you'll know that a lot of files are going to be WHD load games, .adf files. Amiga Forever uses its own type of file extension, and that file extension is called RP9. If we see just here, we got a game, Kekunoid, and this is actually one of my games I imported, and for some reason it didn't actually delete it. So what I'm going to do is just delete that game, and I'm going to show you how to actually add your own games to the Amiga Forever library. So on my desktop, I've got an Amiga games folder, and I've got a few of my games in here. So we got Roadcraft, which I bought a little while back, superb game, and yeah, those two. So what we're going to do is add these, and we're going to do this by going to Tools, RP9 Toolbox, and it will tell you just here under Information the file types that Amiga Forever accepts in order to convert it to its own RP9 format. So what we're going to do is go down to folders, and as you just seen, I've got a folder on my desktop containing a few of my Amiga games. What we're going to do is, bear with me, let me just make sure that is the correct folder, Amiga games. I'm sure that's the one on my desktop. And I'm going to go to use player folders and start task. Process 3, so that's 3 of my games, and it's been all 3 games have been converted to the RP9 file extension format. Rather, it's closed down. Now, as you've seen very briefly, everything kind of flashed. Now, my games should be. Oh, actually got Rick Dangerous Remake. That's a game which comes with Amiga Forever. Where did my games just go? demo scene applications. Okay, so they've gone to my applications folder. I'm pretty sure from here I can actually put them into the main games folder. So we got the Kekunoids, and I've got 2 versions of this. Now I don't actually need 2 of those, so just delete that one. So I'm going to send Kekunoid, and I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. But what we're going to do with this is send it, add to... Okay, bear with me. Pretty sure I can... No, okay. There is a way around of putting the games into the main games folder. But anyways, let's actually show you what a game looks like. So I'm going to get my Xbox controller, my faithful Xbox controller, and turn it on. And I'm going to just show you a few visual effects, what we can add, scan lines in other video settings. So if I right click on a game, in fact, let's go for Roadcraft. Great game. If I right click on one of these games, play with, I'm going to use the WinUAE 64-bit version. So first of all, let's just check if this is running and it's set up. So yeah, it is. Now if you see at the bottom of the screen just here, you'll see a disc with a green light flashing. That just indicates the disc, the ADF or RP9 as it is now. That's loaded like a real disc. So you can just drag, drop ADF files into... Sorry, I can't actually read any of that comment. What's going on my phone? Yeah, heart is in the way of that. You can just drag and drop ADF files. Okay, so that's another way of doing it. Thanks for that. Okay, so game now should be loading, and here we go, Thalamus Digital, classic. And I'm using my Xbox controller. Now, Amiga games can be a little bit annoying with putting the controllers into the right ports. Okay, so everything's working fine. As you can see, that boots up just fine. And what I'm going to do is actually close this one down a minute, and we're going to save a snapshot of that, a save state as it were. If we go to OK. Now, next thing we can do is play around with video settings. If we go to Edit, Details, we can also pop in different details of the game if that's your type of thing. If I go to Configuration, I've also got option here to set up a particular game per system settings, but normally Amiga Forever is going to pre-configure that for you, so that really shouldn't be a problem. But anyways, let's take a look at video settings. If I go up to Tools, Options, and from here, I'm going to go to the Emulation tab. Okay, so someone's just said the stream is very poor. Poor in what way? Let's take a look. Okay. Okay. Stream is very poor. I'm really sorry about that, but there isn't much I can say do about that as of now. Okay, so when we're going back to video options, I can put some scan lines on my games. I can upscale games. Let's just stick with scan lines. We can also put preferred video mode on, but obviously I'm in the PAL region, so I'm going to leave this as PAL. And if I scroll downwards, I've got lots of different settings here. Okay, so I'm going to just scroll up, and I'm going to use full screen, use hardware full screen, and each one of these video settings, it's got little bit of information pops up, as you can see just here, that kind of tells you what each one of these does for your experience. but lots in there. And so we're going to go to OK. If I open up Roadcraft again, and as we can see, when I've attempted to open up the game, it's asking us if I want to load up my save from where I just came out of it. So I'm going to go to play. Okay. And I'm not quite sure, to be honest with you, what's going on just there. Okay. I just pop that one off again. I think the problem with the screen issue I just now is that I'm potentially using an NTSC game, and it's not coming through how it should be, but we're going to try and sort that out. But yeah, generally setting up a full screen for your games, it's just a case of selecting the right option here. I can't think for the life of me which one it is. Let's try again. Absolute nightmare, but anyway, regardless of the ratio going on just there, you can see it's booted up into a full screen. Okay, if you need to change mouse to joystick whilst you're in a game very frequently with Amiga games, you might need the mouse, the tank mouse, to switch past options, etc. Just a case of just going into this menu just here, and from here, emulated port 1, we can change over from mouse to say CD32 joypad, or we can swap the mouse over to port 2. In port 2 just here, we've got the joystick, which is what I'm using, and we can switch that over with port 1. It sounds a little bit confusing, but yes, it's pretty simple to do. What else have we got? So if we just close this down, and I'm going to save the snapshot in case we need to go back in there. Somebody is going on about it's like you're on dial-up internet. Well, to be fair with you, I am talking Amiga, and we are going back to the days of dial-up internet. So if anyone else thinks this is bad, I really don't know what to suggest. So we got a couple of people actually saying that the stream is pretty poor. So like I said, there's really nothing I can do about the quality of the stream. It's like you're on dial-up internet. Brings back memories, that does. Okay. So what else do we have in Amiga Forever? We have got some very awesome stuff here. We got demo scene. Amiga Forever, it comes with... What the hell is going on? Etc. Just a case of just going into this menu just here, and from here, emulated port 1, we can change over from mouse to say CD3. Okay, so yeah, it does look like the connection is pretty bad. What I'm going to do is, what can I do to try and improve the connection? Issue is with computers nowadays, some of them don't come with Ethernet ports. Normally I'd say put Ethernet into the computer directly into my modem router, sorry. So edit game configuration, video modes, automatic, NTSC PAL, awesome stuff. Thanks. So I'm gonna just wait actually for the connection just to be a little more stable. As we can see here, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I've got to say, it's something I've never actually had on one of my streams before, which is a little bit annoying actually. Okay, So what I'm going to do, if this is actually coming through, I'm going to just be off for a couple minutes and I'll be right back. And hopefully the stream might be a little better in a couple of minutes. I mean, like I said, I'm really not sure what to suggest. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just give it a couple of minutes and I'll be back and hopefully might sort itself out. In fact, what I'll do is, if I just open up Amiga Forever again, whilst I'm away for a couple of minutes, I will attempt to play one of the Amiga demos which Amiga Forever comes with. I'll just randomly select Capture Dreams just here. Okay, we are back. Hopefully the stream is a little bit better. By the looks of it, some people was okay with the stream quality, some aren't. All I can do is apologise. I also noticed we got a viewer just here with a brightness problem. I just read you're finding it difficult to read the text on the screen. All I can suggest is to adjust your brightness on whatever it is you're viewing this on. So what else can we do with Amiga Forever? Obviously we got the games. I've showed you how to put your own games on there. We've obviously got the demo scene section, which is pretty cool if that's your type of thing. And of course, if you've got ADF files or anything else, you can obviously put your own demos in there into the library itself. We got applications just here, which is where some of my games are going. And someone reminded me just now, if I go back to games and drag one of my ADF files in. If I go to just drag my ADF file, there we go. We can then, let's see, okay. No, this isn't going too well, is it, tonight? But you get the gist. You can add your own games in there, very simply. Okay, so we got a gallery section. This is just going to give you some pictures of bits and pieces of Amiga history. We've even got an interesting PDF just here of a patent for, looks like something to do with Amiga. Okay, we also got videos. So this is some Commodore history. If I double left click, please insert in any drive. Okay, so I'm guessing that's going to be on the physical disk, although I do have the ISO image of this. If I just open this one up, and if I go down to videos, README, what's in README? Okay, so it's just giving some information here, how to watch the videos, where to get videos. For space reasons, the videos are not installed by the installer, nor are they included in the Plus Edition ISO image. To watch videos, please insert the desired DVD and use the Amiga Forever player. Okay, so it looks like you need a physical copy then, by the seems of it, to view those videos, if that's what you're into. Something else which is also fairly interesting with Amiga Forever is that we can actually build our own ISO image. Now, if I go to Tools at the top just here, if I go down to Build Image, what we're going to do is leave Template to, let's just leave it as Amiga Forever. We can actually choose what we want to build as part of the image. So I'm going to leave everything as default. So we got Systems, Games, Demo Scene. We're going to output it. In other words, we're going to convert this to an ISO image. If I go to Artwork, let's just give it a disk image. Go OK. And we need to select a destination for this to convert to. So I'm going to let this go into my... going to actually change this to that Amiga Games folder. And here we go. And we're going to go to build, and as we can see at the bottom here, everything what I've got, which is pretty much everything Amiga Forever Plus comes with. It's a total of 2.8 gig. If I just go to build, and we're just going to wait for this. And here we go, it's now building the ISO image, and I don't think this is going to take too long. ADF files or anything else, you can obviously put your own demos. If I go back to games and drag one of my ADF files in, Okay, so yeah, I'm actually watching back the stream on my phone. Yeah, I can see what people are actually saying. It's very slow, and again, all I can do is apologise. Just one of those things. I mean, I've got fibre optic broadband, the fastest, and sadly, every now and again, this type of thing does happen. So, again, for anyone that watches my live streams, you'll know this is a first. It don't normally happen, which is sod's law. Okay, so the ISO image has been written successfully. So if we just come out of Amiga Forever, and I asked it to go into my Amiga Games folder, and here we go. This is the ISO image, just under 2.8 gigabyte, which is just made. Again, just like the ISO image I sent from Amiga Forever, if I double left click this, we can actually burn this onto a DVD-R if you want, or pop it onto a USB stick. But we can actually then open up, and we can then auto run what we've just done. And what we're going to do is play from medium, and we're just going to wait for this one to boot up. Okay, there we go. So obviously this isn't the installed version. Now this is what I've just converted using Amiga Forever. And we've only got the systems, games, and demo scene folders because that's what I requested Amiga Forever to send over to the image. So everything here should work just as well, just the same as the installed version I've got. Let's just check this out. If we randomly choose this char game, double left click. And there we go. So we're booting straight into the game from the ISO image. Very cool stuff. And there we see, as I mentioned just a minute ago, we know when a game is loaded up and it's running successfully. Normally you'll get the little green dot flashing just there on top of the disk image, which just tells us it's loading, as we can see. I've also got those scan lines because that's what I set up just a minute ago through the video settings. And you know what? Just my luck to pick a game which is probably one of the longest loading games here. It takes the longest to load up, but there you go. I don't think today was meant to be honest, judging from the stream quality. Okay, so from here, my controller's not working, so it's a good opportunity to change the controller settings just here. If I... Okay. If I just press the escape button, and what I'm going to do is just open this one up again. Sure. And I'm going to